Hey everyone! Welcome to the Bold and Beautiful 24. I'm Alessio, and I'm so excited to have you here. If you love Bold and Beautiful, then you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Alright, let's dive right in. Will is preparing to inform Elektra of the terrible news, while Bill makes a startling declaration. Luna proudly announces at Lee's apartment that she is pregnant with Will's child, which nearly causes him to collapse in terror. Luna is advised by Katie and the others that a fraudulent pregnancy test will not prevent her from being booked into prison. She insists on the level and exclaims to Will, "We're having a baby." When Luna informs him of their connection, he strongly denies it. She holds out the pregnancy test and says, "You can't deny this." Lee and Bill accuse her of faking the test, but she merely squeals with delight and gushes about Katie and Bill meeting their grandchild. Bill has had enough and dragged her out the door. In the design office of Forrester, Elektra converses with Hope about Will's promotion, which is, of course, the subject of their conversation. They recall that Will had a little too much fun at his celebration, and Elektra is relieved that she departed the party while they waited. Elektra expresses her confidence in their relationship, which foreshadows a dark twist. Sheila is unable to concentrate on her work at Il Giardino due to Luna's aspiration to establish a relationship with Will. Deacon approaches her and inquires about her thoughts. Sheila responds by expressing her gratitude for his presence in her life. This is often referred to as the quiet before the storm. Sheila Deacon bed and breakfast. Deacon is cognizant of the fact that his wife is experiencing distress and implores her to disclose the truth. However, she attempts to deceive him. Deacon discerns that she is contemplating her grandchild, Hayes. Sheila evades the question, stating, "Yes, I am." Lee arrives, and Deacon departs in a timely manner. Lee informs Sheila that she is enraged, and Bill has removed Luna from the apartment. Additional information: who is Deke Sharp? Bill brings Luna into his residence, and she inquires as to why he did not contact the authorities. Bill asserts that the residence is not hers and expresses his dissatisfaction with the pregnancy fraud. Luna denies that it is a hoax. He argues that she is attempting to undermine his son's life after nearly killing his brother. Why would he believe any of her assertions? Bill Luna bed and breakfast. Luna is of the opinion that Bill is simply dissatisfied because Will failed to inform him about them. They are poised to form an extraordinary family. Bill expresses his concern that she is deformed, stating, "You are not carrying Will's child. If she is, she will accept responsibility and behave appropriately. If she loves Will, she will demonstrate it by releasing him and undergoing an abortion." Luna's jaw dropped. Is it advisable for her to take Bill seriously? Find out why here. Will and Katie are currently in Luna's apartment, analyzing the situation. Will is so certain that she is fabricating the pregnancy that there is little doubt that the positive result was genuine. Katie, who is visibly agitated, expresses her desire to believe that it is a ruse, but not for the duration of the evening. Katie receives a message from Bill informing her that he has taken Luna to the house to resolve the matter. Will weeps over the prospect of telling Elektra everything. She will be devastated. He is unable to postpone the decision. "I must tell her about my night with Luna." Sheila becomes Luna's sole hope as her jail fate approaches. Luna Nozawa was apprehended as a consequence of her extraordinary risk-taking, as indicated by the Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. She is on the brink of imprisonment unless an additional miraculous transpires. As Bill Spencer so aptly put it, who gets 3 chances? However, Luna's haughty ingratitude resulted in her targeting and exploiting Will Spencer, who will soon be compelled to disclose the dreadful truth to Elektra Forrester, following Lee Nozawa's replication of the other miraculous escapes from justice. The audience is aware that Luna intended to reveal herself at some point, most likely when she finished her pregnancy or pregnancy hoax. Nevertheless, contacting Will was equally absurd because it enabled him to determine her location and realize that she was still alive. Bill Spencer is incensed and declines to relinquish the matter. Will was compelled to inform the woman he loves and who loves him dearly about Luna. His parents were taken aback to discover that she was still alive. Subsequently, he was required to inform Bill Spencer and Katie Logan of the events that transpired following the joyful celebration at Il Giardino. Katie was taken aback when Will disclosed the identity of the woman who entered his room. However, she had been aware of the situation since the moment it occurred. Bill, on the other hand, was unaware. When Bill learned of Katie's actions, he immediately transitioned into full dollar bill mode. They hurried to the apartment where Lee had been keeping her granddaughter and confronted her before Luna returned. Bill will do everything in his power to ensure Luna's punishment, provided that she remains captured. Elektra Forrester will encounter challenges in reconciling herself to reality. Poor Elektra. Luna perceived her as a vulnerable individual who could be replaced. However, Luna was unaware that Will was not the ideal version she had envisioned. He has developed an attachment to Grace's character and has come to see the striking contrast between Elektra and Luna. Will made the correct decision by confiding in his mother and informing his parents that Luna is still alive and that she was the woman who targeted him. The most challenging step is the subsequent disclosure of this heinous tale to Elektra, as she will undoubtedly be embarrassed. Sheila Carter Sharp will not be unseen. Luna's paternal grandmother is conspicuously absent from the current developments. Sheila Carter Sharp, like Lee, is concerned for Luna. However, she is opposed to her return to prison. Lee may be hesitant to assist Luna in her escape endeavors due to her feelings of betrayal. Remy's moral dilemma, Luna's announcement. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Thursday, September 18, 2025, indicate that Luna Nozawa will disclose her pregnancy during the upcoming episode. In the interim, Remy Price has made a commitment to Deke. Will he be able to fulfill it? For additional information regarding the forthcoming episode of CBS's serial opera, please continue reading. Luna Nozawa's pregnancy test. Luna, who is still in possession of her pregnancy test, conducted it in the restroom of Deke and Remy's apartment. Nevertheless, Deke instructed Remy to eliminate their unexpected companion before Luna could observe the outcomes. She stored it in her purse with the intention of reading it upon her return to Lee Finnegan's apartment. Nevertheless, Luna was never afforded the opportunity. Upon entrance, she was greeted by Lee, Bill Spencer, and Katie Logan. New issues for Will Spencer. If the experience of coupling with the unknown woman was not already unpleasant, Will is now confronted with an additional obstacle. Luna has recently shared that she is expecting his child. Read this, The Bold and the Beautiful. Is Thomas truly over Brooke's grudge or just planning the next vengeful move? This occurred as they were preparing to return Luna to prison. Consequently, what are they to do? In actuality, Luna and the infant would be conveyed to prison, and Will would have the option of either assuming custody or surrendering the infant to the state. Conversely, soap operas are fond of exaggerating the notion that an infant can effectively prevent an individual from being incarcerated. The family issue between Bill Spencer and Katie Logan. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Thursday, September 18, indicate that Bill was prepared to return the girl to prison. However, the narrative will now be influenced by her positive pregnancy test. Lee will undoubtedly desire to conduct her own pregnancy test, as Luna has already fabricated one. If she is indeed expectant, Will be compelled to make some challenging decisions. Concerns of Elektra Forrester. Elektra will arrange a romantic surprise for her beau later this week. Additionally, the girl expressed her satisfaction with the restoration of her trust in Hope Logan. Therefore, will disclose the entire truth to Elektra? Or will he maintain the confidentiality of Luna's child? Regardless, this will be a challenging situation. Will is the victim, but Elektra will be reminded of this fact as a result of the infant. Luna's baby play, Bill and Will's new problem, and Elektra suspicious. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Thursday, September 18, 2025, are now available. In the forthcoming episode, Luna Nozawa will capitalize on the pregnancy test. However, what does this imply for the future of Luna and Will Spencer? To discover the upcoming episode of CBS's serial opera, please continue reading. Luna Nozawa's pregnancy play. First, Luna underwent a pregnancy test at the residence of Remy Price and Deke. Nevertheless, Luna was unable to read the results because Deke had evicted her. She subsequently intended to read them at Lee Finnegan's residence. Nevertheless, Bill Spencer, Katie Logan, Will, and Lee ambushed her. Read this, uncover the most recent episode of BNB. The pregnancy test was among the items that fell from Luna's satchel as they were preparing to transport her back to prison. The test produced a positive outcome. The horror of Will Spencer. Will's difficulties have only intensified since Luna's positive pregnancy test. What will Will do now? In addition to informing her that a baby is on the way, how does he notify Electra Forrester of this? In actuality, they could confine Luna and then retrieve the child upon its birth. Read this, the bold and the beautiful spoilers, this could be the end of Luna. Nevertheless, it is probable that the authors are attempting to maintain Luna's presence on the canvas. Will, Bill, and Katie will likely need to determine what to do with the infant. Bill Spencer's recent challenge. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Thursday, September 18th indicate that Bill intended to remand Luna to prison. Nevertheless, the presence of an innocent child could potentially compound the situation. Will Bill incarcerate her until she gives birth, or will they attempt to coerce her into having an abortion? Watch this, bold and beautiful 2-week spoilers, September 15th to 26th, Carter's crushing betrayal and Finn's fury. Electra Forrester is skeptical. Electra has prepared a romantic surprise for Will later this week. However, he may not be feeling romantic due to his thoughts of Luna and the forbidden child.